Welcome to the Making Money in the Music Business podcast, where we share insightful views on a variety of topics in the music industry that can help you make more money from your music business. And now, here are your hosts, Dr. William E. Smith and Kenya McGuire Johnson.
Hey, Kenya, we are back.
We're back. And for those that are listening, because we've just been doing audio this week, we are both audio and video. So, yes. So if you're just listening, you need to hop over to YouTube. So that you can see us. And the link is in the show notes and all the good. So it's good to see you, Dr.
Good
Smith.
to see you too, and good to be seen because you're living in your house all the time.
How about that?
Yeah, you know.
Although I'm quite comfortable, I actually really love doing stuff from home.
Trust me. This was made for me.
Oh my God! People are like, I'm like, can I never leave?
Right?
Never?
Can we keep this?
Please?
Even when things get worked out. But
yeah. And it's getting worked out. It's a new world. So, but we could go on and on. But we're not going to do that because we actually have a guest this week, a really awesome guest. Really excited to do this interview today, and I think that particularly our audience, because we have so many independent artists that are listening to this, so you're going to really get some value out of this. So you need to make sure that you are listening, have your notepad, re-listen, replay, go to YouTube, watch all the good stuff, because I think we're going to get some really good information and resources and all that. So, but before we do that, you know that Will has to, because Kenya never does the music tip.
Music tip.
What you got?
Actually, I sort of tailored this one for our interview for today. So
he surprises me, so I don't know. So I'm like, what is it? Okay, go.
I try. I get creative. That's the musician in me. Try the whole point of for today, but this is really key for you all, and I have many life experiences and examples of why this is important. But attend online conferences and events. So just because it's online does not mean it's not beneficial. So does not mean it's beneficial. Not beneficial.
No, not beneficial. Whatever. Double negative? It is. It means you shouldn't use the negatives. So it means it is beneficial.
It is beneficial. So yes, this is a perfect opportunity for you all to grow in your music business. And for me, attending conferences over the years, I mean, literally, it's how I grew what I did. It's how I got put on the gigs. It's how, I met certain people. It's actually kind of how I got my teaching job here now. So, I mean, conferences are the thing to really grow your business and grow yourself professionally in your career. So just because it's online does not mean it's not going to help you.
Right. Exactly. And honestly, I mean, I hope everyone is beginning to see just how this stuff becoming online as artists, while there are these limitations, that were very obvious in terms of performance, the level of connections we're making now, I mean, it was already pretty getting serious global wise, but now that there's certain conferences that, I can't go there because I can't afford to fly all the way over there. So now you have access from your bedroom on so much of this stuff. And a lot of these conferences, people are doing things for free because they're kind of beta testing, making sure these conferences even work like this. So they don't want to charge you a whole bunch of money to do all of it. They will eventually, because once they realize this actually works really well. But so this is a really prime time to do as much online stuff as you can, because again, a lot of this is a lot of event managers. They're trying new techniques, trying new things, bringing people in that they otherwise wouldn't be able to. So it's actually a really, really phenomenal time. So that's an excellent music tip.
I try.
You did good.
So I guess it's up to me to
You're the spotlight today. Yeah, okay. I made Will the.
Yeah, so I got a little spotlight in the back. There it is. Yes, so today we are having a phenomenal guest with us. He is, let me get the title right. Let me not even say it wrong.
And we're going to let him really expound, but we want to make sure we say the title.
Director of Market Development for CDBaby in Canada, and which is tied into our music tip. He is he launched the one of Canada's largest indie music festivals, Indieweek. So
awesome.
Perfect tie-in, and we want to welcome you to the show, Darryl Hurs.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I love your music tip. I could talk so much about that. Like, I got my CDBaby job by going to conferences. It started in Chile, Argentina, Brazil, and we were running Indieweek in UK, and CDBaby ended up being a sponsor there, which led me to be able to know about my now current boss, who I invited to be a speaker at our conference.
Oh, wow.
And then it was through all of that I got offered a job at CDBaby.
Wow.
So it's kind of like when I joined the team, I'm like, I already know half of them because I've been traveling around meeting all the CDBaby reps. So
yeah,
awesome. It's huge.
That's
good
awesome.
Good tip.
Yeah, I said he did well. Yeah. He was trying to. He's trying to impress us a little bit, but no, that was awesome. You know, Darryl, we would love. You were giving us some pieces of kind of how you got in your position, but we always ask our guests, and we don't have, I wish we had more time, but we'd love to hear kind of what even like your background, like you don't have to start when you were born, but just a little bit of how did you even get interested in this space of music, event production, all of that. So, yeah.
Well, I was born in Edmonton and, no, just kidding.
I know. And when I was one.
Yeah, no, you know what? I will start a little bit there. Like my grandfather played piano and just listening, sitting on the piano bench next to him. I cannot play piano. I don't know how he did it. And it just seems to be in the family. Like he was actually in the army in Canada, about ready to go over for World War II. Didn't go there, but he was always AWOL because he was skipping to try to play piano in bars. So it would be like, where is he? And they'd find him play piano. So I think it's in the blood a little bit. So I just had to mention that story a bit. But yes, for some reason, around since grade 6, I've always known I wanted to be in music. So performer. I went through music for college, in bands, and then very similar. Like I was a manager. I booked for venues. I started putting on shows. I was always the business guy in the band. And eventually, when I launched Indieweek, a booking agent that was there that I really respect, he walked over to me and goes, "So, you got to make a decision, don't you?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You're either on stage over there or in the crowd like us." And so I decided to go more the business route from that point on. And Indieweek has grown to be so international. And, talking about online conferences, we moved online and we launched actually 3 more conferences. So this is actually, Indieweek coming up is actually our 5th online conference that we've run in a year.
Oh, wow.
So if anybody's wondering about it, the momentum is amazing. The people we're getting are high-level speakers that we weren't able to get before because it was like, could you check your travel schedule and spend a few days getting here? And now it's like, can you spend an hour online with our audience? And we're getting, like, I can announce because we've announced Marky Ramone from the Ramones, Michael Anthony Alago, who signed Metallica, Steve Stewart, who managed Stone Temple Pilots, Margaret McGuffin, she runs Music Publishers Association Canada, and she's got a program with 6 women producers. So we're able to get these people access to them and really high quality speakers that right now everybody wants to collaborate and everybody's so open to sharing knowledge and information and support each other. It's been the best experience. We didn't know, like when we were like, are we going online? Should we? I don't know. And like when we're talking to people, like, what do you expect? I don't know. Never did it before. The response was so positive. We're like, we can't wait 12 months. We got to keep the momentum going. So we started doing more.
Gotcha.
It's amazing. So as you said, a lot of them are very affordable or free. And if you are a musician and not taking advantage of this, you are going to be left behind.
Yes.
From the people that are. So just to give an example, right after this call, I'm actually talking for a school in Spain. And then next week, as Indieweek, we're presenting Canadian artists online for Music Pro Awards in Brazil, as well as a delegation of Canadians. Then we're running Indieweek. During Indieweek, I'm also talking for a conference in Spain. I'm actually running a session.
Gosh. So you can double, right?
Back.
You can run your conference and still attend another one.
Yeah. Last year I did Brazil and Canada and Taiwan.
Wow.
And then the week after is Montreal. And the week after that, at the same time, is Peru and Taiwan. And so just in running all this, the previous years, they'd be like, can you come to our conference? No, I can't.
Right. It's too far away, too long travel.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
So now I'm hitting all these different territories. I have not been busier than I am right now. This is the busiest time I've ever had. And it's been great. It's been great. So,
talk to us about that, about the actual conference experience, because I think that might be the real selling point with people. The question that people have is if I'm going to a physical conference, I get a chance to stand up and ask questions and meet people afterwards, take photos, whatever. But if I'm at an online conference, how is that different, and what's my access, or what's the opportunities there to network and collaborate? So I guess if you could expound on that, that might give people that real draw in.
I love that you asked this question. The experiences, I think, are different. And that's one of the things that there's not the standard set yet. Like a normal conference, go to a hotel, register, stand in line. And it's like, am I going in that room or this room? Because I can only be in one place.
Right.
So I'm either getting this information and missing out over there, or vice versa. So online, I've been at a lot of conferences where they've pre-recorded material, or there's different ways and you can't chat. So the one thing that we really focused on, we audited, like I'm really picky. I am so, I love my staff. So first I have to shout out to my staff. They put up with me. B, we couldn't do this without them. But going into it the first time, we actually audited 21 different online platforms to make sure we had the right one. And we actually started 2 times down the road with a platform and then quit because we found things that aren't going to give the engagement that we want.
Right.
And we very believe that it has to be live so that the audience can ask questions and answers can be given live. So that's something really important. There's always the chats, but what we also have had great success in is there's discussion boards where anyone could actually create a discussion board, post a topic, and then all other attendees start messaging in and they start meeting. And last time, I think we had 85 different topics running.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And on the, so couple things. During the session, you can chat and people connect there. You can ask questions and the speakers now engage. There's the community boards. So anytime people talk, and the thing is, our platform is live for 6 months. So they're still talking from our last one. Like every time I log in, there's like the notifications on. They're still talking. And as well on our platform, anybody can arrange a meetup. So it's like, at the conference, hey, let's meet at the lobby.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can create your own meetup, and you could actually do that now. Like the platform is live for this one. So you could be like, hey, anybody want to meet before the conference?
Huh.
And then after the conference, anybody want to take notes and share notes? And
right.
There's been songwriting collaborations. There's been publishing tips. And then some of our partners, speakers, and sponsors, they make their own meetups and like, hey, does anybody want to get in-depth conversation?
Yeah.
Session? So None of that could happen in real life.
Exactly.
None of it, right?
Yeah.
I remember going to conferences like, here's my list of people I hope and then they're walking down the hallway and I'm like, I think that's different hair. But
Kenya and I had that experience. We went to the SyncTown conference back right before
it happened right before COVID. And
I was trying to connect with like two people and are they over there? Or, same.
Where should we go? Would you go? I'm gonna go over this way. You over there.
Yeah. So essentially you can go through our speaker list when you're on our platform and just go message. Anybody, right? And so and our speakers, they've been very gracious in like during the sessions, they're like, anybody can email me. Here's my email address.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Right. So it is like, I look at it like this is almost like, we're always talking about when it's back to normal. Well, I think the world has changed and it's almost like, think of this as your business part of the career.
Mm-hmm.
And the live part is the performance part.
Right.
Yep.
And so just think how much business you can do. Like literally right now, Womix is happening in Portugal. I was supposed to be there, but COVID wasn't looking good at the time I was supposed to travel. But also Bime is happening in Spain right now. And I was supposed to kind of like do 2 days there, 2 days
and then go to Portugal. Mm-hmm.
But if they're doing anything virtual, I could tune into either.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And one really big thing to say is we record all of our content and then it gets posted so you can go back to the sessions you've missed and watch the recordings. Or if you're like, I didn't have time to take notes or I want to hear that point again. So people are watching the sessions after it's happened. Like, so up to 6 months, you can watch the sessions. So, I know there's a lot, I talk a lot, but
this is all such good stuff. I mean, you see me, I'm like writing because I've got so many questions, but keep going and then I'll start.
One thing that I have to say that has been a really positive thing, like, again, we didn't know. It was our first time. What are we going to do? Okay. And how's it going to be? Don't know. And we try to always look at the results and go, where can we do better? Where do we adjust? Where did we do well though? Right. And the feedback has been amazingly positive. Like 99.9%. Everybody's like, wow, this is amazing. And what we saw from some of the demographics and data, our audience has expanded. So ages, younger and older. That, like, there's people like, I'm 75 years old and still songwriting and learning. And they probably wouldn't have gone to a hotel conference.
Exactly.
Right? And then accessibility, meaning some people who couldn't go into a venue that has stairs.
Yeah.
They're loving it because they can just tune in. So health and wellness part plays a role. And then also there's been a lot of people that have said either they're in rural areas, like really way north, and, travel's an option.
Yeah.
And we've had people say, I've never been able to attend Indieweek. One, I can't get time off work. Now I've got 2 computers set up, so while I'm working, I'm listening.
I can listen. Right.
They're screenshotting it and putting it on their socials. I'm like, I don't know if I like that one. And the other part is the fact that other people couldn't afford to travel to Toronto.
Right.
And, so for us, it's like, wow, we're hitting a demographic range that we never were able to before. And it's not like we intended on it. It's just the result and us learning that. And now we're actually reaching out to rural areas and we're actually reaching out to schools across Canada and across the US because we feel students are the future. So we're actually giving tickets out to all the music schools that we can in North America.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Darryl.
So lots going on.
Yeah, that's just like, I mean, that's so expansive. So Will, I have like 312 questions, but can I ask one first?
You can ask one. Go ahead.
My God, I don't even know where to start because I wrote so many things. So just some general kind of logistic things for our audience. So, because I'm sure after now that we have sold it, in terms of register, and we'll put like kind of where to go and all that
links and everything.
Once we get to the end. But in terms of like cost? I mean, is there a fee, and what is that fee like? And I'm really curious. I'm going to throw the second one and then I'll stop. Just what platform you guys are actually using, to put this conference on. But definitely want to let people know what kind of fee this is looking for them if they're hearing all this and like, yeah, I want to do this.
Okay. Well, the way our ticket structure usually works is we do super early bird. So that's like when we announce, that's $20, which we feel is very fair.
Yeah.
And then it goes up to $40 and then it goes up to 60. So right now it's 60.
Oh my God.
And really it just covers our costs of the platform. Like, it like a lot of people think digital, oh, it's free, click a button. And it's like literally everybody who registers, we pay for. So it's like the more popular it is, the more expensive it is. But that's okay. And I'll do one, basically, if anybody has a barrier to the fee of $60, go to our Instagram at Indieweek and DM us, and I'll give you guys a free ticket link. So
wow.
So just DM us on Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, y'all, please. That's really, I mean, it's real, because we talk a lot about how you guys have to be willing to invest. So honestly, our listeners $60 should really, really be very tangible. But if not, here we go. Lots of options. So that's awesome.
Yeah. And if you think like $60, it's like $12 a day.
Yeah.
Is all it is, really.
I don't know if you all had thought about it, but if there's a donation feature for the Indie Weeks of somebody who is actually well off and really supports this and wants to help encourage it, and actually
for you guys as a business,
for you guys, have a donation feature somewhere, because there's a lot.
At some point, we're going to. At some point, we're a small team, and when COVID started, we lost a lot. To be honest, like when COVID first started, we were actually the first to cancel flat out. So in Canada, all the festivals and conferences got online, and we were having like weekly and bi-weekly meetings, and it's like, what are you doing? And what are you doing? And Aaron's trying to be like, well, we're thinking we could do it in person at this time, and everybody was still thinking the mindset they're going ahead with it, and I was like, we're all going to end up piled up on top of each other with the same dates, or COVID's going to just make things really logistically a nightmare. So I just canceled. And then we had contracts like with the NHL team, Toronto Maple Leafs, the company that owns it. We programmed artists to play after every home game, and it was really good cash flow. But we lost that once NHL happened and closing, and like we weren't able to do the festival part. We normally have 24 venues in Toronto happening for 4 days and 240 bands. And so we lost all that. So the first part of the year was so stressful, and we were kind of like, what do we do? And all the others are like, change the dates, in person, try to be in person. And a lot of them was like, plan A, we're going to be in person. Plan B, we're going to be online. Plan C will be online in person. Plan D, we're changing the dates. Plan E, we're canceling. And I'm like, oh, that's so much. Just going to the end, we're canceling. Yeah. And halfway through the year is like, we can do this online. This could work. So last year we announced just the dates because we had nothing. No speakers, no sponsors. We hadn't put in for our funding and grants, so we missed the deadlines. We had zero funding last year. Zero. And we just announced dates, and tickets started selling. And so that was like our community, the people who've been, and the brand. And so that was really encouraging. We launched and are still doing, to note, Indie Weekly is every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern time, which is Toronto time. We do a free info session with speakers. That's been awesome. So we built a community.
Great.
Leading to the conference.
Well, see,
and
Darryl, you are
carried it through. And so many people are like, I look so forward to that 1 hour session every week. I just got 2 messages back to back from artists One has ADHD, and saying that keeps them grounded and gives them positivity. They've met people through it. There's songwriting collaborations. And so we started taking the approach. And if anybody's been on a session, the phrase we use is people add value. And the way that works is you have to invest first. So us helping, they'll support.
Right.
And where that's really worked is our sponsors came on board last year, and they've all come on board again this year. And a lot of it have increased because they see the value with the community we're building.
Well, and, can I interrupt just one quick second? Because you have
talk
completely,
a lot.
No.
I won't be able to hear the end of this because when you said community, Kenya's jumping in. So go ahead.
Jumping in because I've been telling Will this, and I've been attempting to tell our audience, you got to build your community.
Yep.
Build your community first. If you build your community and they feel a sense of belonging, pretty much anything that you're offering thereafter becomes more food for them. So if you're giving good food and the community is connecting, and it's not even really about you doing, it's now community. So now they're connecting with each other, they're connecting with energy. So thank you for being a real life example of that. Because the other side of our listenership is those people who also are like yourself, who, put on events and are trying to figure this out. How should we put on, whatever conference or whatever summit or whatever it is they're doing. And I've been encouraging everybody, build your community right now. Don't get too overconsumed about the details of that event you're trying to do. Get that community engaged so that whatever you come up with, it could actually become simpler because the community is so invested. So you just answer.
So I come from a digital background as well. So part of my background, I do graphics and web design and websites and stuff. That's kind of how I paid the bills when I was in a band. I was like, do websites and stuff. But I did, as a freelancer, I did work for Live Nation for about 8 years. And that, I launched VIPnation.com for them.
Okay.
And I actually rebranded the company. So there was a time where a ticket was their logo. So during that era, I did the branding for them.
Wow.
And, so my digital background, that's what was really helped embrace this online stuff. So having that experience really helped, and knowing this will work, that won't work as far as a platform goes. And there's a phrase that stuck with me. So I've been teaching this stuff too. It's I've been teaching Photoshop since '99 and website stuff. But there's a phrase that came out by Tim O'Reilly, and it was people add value. And that has stuck with me. And they were asking about where's the web going? And can you tell us what the future is? And he said, well, people add value. And he said, when people can contribute, and in this case, he said, to the database, and the database grows exponentially, basically on its own, you're creating value. And what he's referring to is, if you think of it, if no one signed up to Facebook, it would be a blue bar and a logo and a blank page.
That's
exactly.
It.
Exactly.
Twitter, blue bar, logo, blank page.
Yeah.
LinkedIn, blue bar, logo. There's something about blue and white and social, just so everybody knows psychologically. But think of YouTube, think of eBay, think of Twitch, think of Pinterest, all of them.
All of them.
Everybody's going there because everyone else is there.
Right.
That's it.
And so that's the approach we take. And you have to really think of every person as an individual. What are their needs? And are we meeting them?
Are you meeting them? Exactly.
Right? And as a band, or an artist, you have to think that same thing.
Yes.
Right? I'm actually working on a mentorship that I'm hoping to do in February. I did one in December last year called Future Proof Your Career. And I'm trying to run it, the second version of it. And if you think of it, if one person, what's the value of a fan? So think, I play one show a year, I sell a ticket to them. At that show, they buy a CD, a shirt. That one person might be worth $50 to my financial part of my career. And it's like, people are like, well, how do I make 50 grand a year? Well, you need like 1,000 of those people.
Right.
So when you break it down to math, you can actually figure out, okay, but what if I do 2 shows? Maybe I only need 500 of those people.
Right. Exactly.
Like that demographic, right? Like the audience, right? And I'm not trying to make people our numbers, but you have to treat them so well so they keep coming back.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
Right?
Exactly.
And that's been our success, is that, you know what? I noticed like one of our members of community was in the hospital, so I send them messages. There's another artist that is like, oh, how do I do this? Oh, talk to this person that might be able to help out. You know, so in between the conferences, we're still talking.
You're still
Well, I would add to what your phrase. People add value when you give value to people.
Yes. Yeah. And that's why I say you have to invest first.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to invest in you first.
Yeah.
And I've always say offer a helping hand before asking for it.
That's it.
Exactly.
That's it.
And so I really, and Will, because we're getting there, see, our time is almost up.
This is how it always happens.
This is what always happens.
It's crazy.
Will you ask the question? Because I'll keep going.
We have to let you talk about your position as CDBaby, Director of Market Development for CDBaby Canada. So
absolutely,
give us a background. You told us how that got started with attending the conferences and just meeting everybody. But what is your role? And basically, what is it that you do there? And just go.
Well, it really fits so like tightly with what I do on the conference side. So CDBaby, one, I've known the company literally from the start. Like, again, I was always online, blah, blah, blah. I actually talked to Derek, who launched it, and he emailed me literally when he sold the company. He's like, I sold it. I'm out, moving to Thailand.
Wow.
Right. And the one thing is the really the basis of the company is helping artists, and it's helping artists to be able to do their business. And a big part is take the equation of worrying about distribution. And I always promote the CDBaby Pro level, because that's where we do publishing administration, so that if there's any money to be collected, artists are getting paid. Yes, you can sign up to a whole bunch of different organizations, but as an artist, I just know creatives like to be creative, and to be able to go, oh, here's a new song. I got to sign up to SOCAN and CMRA and MROC and da-da-da. We can kind of take that headache out of it. And so, just the ecosystem of the company has been just great, because, when we're talking, sometimes should we do this or not? A lot of the answers are, if it's good for the artist, do it.
Right.
It's good for us. So it's that same kind of mentality, help first, and that community gets built. And so it really fits well. So I do a lot of education, some webinars. We've started for Canadian artists, we do a monthly meetup so that I can share some knowledge and also answer some questions. I've been able to help out in support at times, or point in directions, but also opportunities. With my Indieweek side, I'm able to go, here's, maybe talk to this person, or we're presenting an artist overseas online and you should be the one. And as well, we give out free tickets to all CDBaby Canadian artists as well, to all the conferences. So education is a huge focus, so that artists can learn how to better manage their business.
Right.
And that's just a plus for everybody. If everybody's doing better,
it's a good thing. I'm
They're always like, how do I get paid? How do I get paid? And how do I make more money? So we want to help them learn how.
Yeah, like full disclosure, I released my music through CDBaby, so I've been with them for years. Probably
amazing.
the beginning part. So, and for me, what really stuck was the fact that they would always post information that would be helpful, that would guide you and lead you to the, and it was solution oriented as a business.
Very much, yeah.
If you're looking to do a cover song, here's where you go. It was just everything was there. So that's what made me realize that this was a company that sort of backs you and supports you. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been a leader in this forever. I mean, I remember even before, I don't know if they, at this time, how much they were doing in terms of, I mean, they had to be doing artist side distribution, but before I even got back into music, that's where I would get my indie artist albums. Like, that's where I could go. I'm like, okay, just go to CDBaby, because I'm not going to be able to find this at Virgin Records or whatever. So, but I know I'll be able to find, because I've always been this person underground looking, for different indie artists. And so it wasn't until I started getting back in my music, I'm like, oh, I guess, yeah, they can help me too, as I'm doing this. So from the fan perspective, it was a huge, space for me as just trying, just finding independent artists' music that I wanted to find. And so then, and then the other flip side of the coin, I think artists forget that, there's people who, this is their space they go to find you. They do the distribution and business for you, but this is also a really wonderful space that people go and, really find your music. So, yeah.
Yeah, if I could just add on the business side as well, like we do the education, there's the DIY blog, DIY podcast, DIY conference. But on the business side, if you think of it, we were the first to get indie artists on Apple's platform. Otherwise, you had to be a major.
Right.
And if you think of that, that's a long-standing relationship. So who you're doing business with, you want to make sure they've got great relationships. And it's
absolutely
going to be stable, not funny stuff happening with your money. And then the other thing to think about is our fee structure is different in that it's a one-time fee to get up there, and then it's up for life. You don't have to worry about paying
every year,
monthly, whatever,
and it's for life. And as these new platforms come out, your music's just added once the deal is done. So like TikTok didn't exist. And I was talking to an artist who's like, I put some stuff up like 10 years ago. And it's like, I found it on these other platforms. Like I could use it. It's like, as things grow and new opportunities exist, our company does the deal and your music's delivered. So that's the other big part, is you don't have to worry about that. Like, there's going to be 2 new things next year that we don't know, because we know how tech is moving. Like 5 years ago, did anyone worry about Twitch? Did anybody worry about TikTok? And so, and on the back end, we do take a small percentage. So you also have to think that we've got skin in the game. We're going to try to get the best deal.
Opportunities and best deals,
Because you got to think where there's no percentage, then it's like, here's a deal, because we've already made our money.
There it is.
And a really big thing that artists have said to me during COVID is that the other part is when money comes in for an artist, we pay next week. So there's no waiting for 6 months. There's no any of that kind of stuff. So that has really been good for artists, even all little, whatever size amount. Any cash coming in is good, especially during lockdown and stuff. So a lot of artists have been very responsive.
I just told that to my music business class on Tuesday. I said, BMI and ASCAP, your music gets placed on Christmas shows and TVs and commercials, and you don't see the money till June.
It's just interesting how all of this, when you're having, I'm curious what BMI and ASCAP, and we need to bring some reps from there, what they're doing to really address these things, because like you're saying, that doesn't have to happen at all. So yes, we are getting. But we need to wrap up. Darryl, we told you this. We said before we press record, this time is gonna fly.
We gotta keep talking. We'll keep talking.
We'll have you back.
We bring guests back. So before we let you go, if you could just quickly, I think people can figure out. They're gonna see our show notes, but I'd love just if people are just listening and driving and they just want to. Where do I go for Indieweek? Is it just indieweek.com or what? Where do they need to go?
Yeah, real simple, indieweek.com. You could Google it. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, real easy. Like I said, if the money is a barrier, we want a free ticket, just DM us on Instagram and follow. Got to do one thing, just follow us and do the DM, and we'll give you a free ticket. Also, if anybody has any CDBaby questions, I'm real easy to find. Just Google Darryl Hurs. You could direct message me on Instagram as well. You can direct message Indieweek and go, can I get Darryl's email address? Totally fine. But dhurs at cdbaby.com, DHURS at cdbaby.com.
Awesome.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
Yes,
this has been fantastic. Yeah. And so I just can't thank you enough for all that you've said. You've got my brain percolating even more. So we appreciate you.
Where it starts, right? And this is what I'm saying. Online is actually really good for us. And I have to say, with mental health and wellness, there's times like I've had anxiety and depression and all that kind of stuff. It's less and less. And what I'm finding is in this digital space, I'll be like, oh, I got to do a session today. And I don't know. But after it, I'm supercharged because of the energy I get from the people that I'm talking with, right?
Yes.
And then the messages come in after, and I'm like, oh. And so that's the beauty, is like, we've actually never been more connected than ever before than this digital time.
Yeah. Well, we'll continue to talk about it, because I totally agree with you. And that's my jam, is talking about how as creatives, we can really help with the wellness piece, our mental health. So, all right. Well, Will, this is it. This is good.
Fantastic episode.
Yeah. So we will be back next week again with another interview. We've got some interviews in line. So stay tuned, and we appreciate you guys. Make sure you comment and follow us as well on IG at Making Money in the Music Business, or no, Making Money in the, what is it? Making Money Podcast.
On IG?
I don't know. It's a long one. It's in our
Making Money.
Good grief.
If you go to the
Making Money
website,
Podcast.
If you go to the website, all the links are there. Making money in the musicbiz.com.
Yes. And so follow
all the links
us,
are right there.
All right. We'll see you guys later. Thank you. All right,
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoyed this podcast episode. Please subscribe to our podcast on your podcast player and leave us a rating and review. Also, please leave us a comment on our Facebook or Instagram page. And if you would like to contact us about a specific topic, you can email us at 3mbpodcast@gmail.com.